What's up, everybody? We are on our way to Connecticut. I've got Pope of Chillytown here with me. But first, what's up, comic book community? My name is Joe, and this is 360 Comics. Over the weekend, I had the pleasure of attending the super secret comic book crawl hosted by Three Men in a Basement. And not only did I bring home some really great books, but I also got to hang out with some awesome members of the comic book community. We made 3 stops during the day. I'm going to show you my highlights today from the first 2 stops of the crawl, and then tune back in on Wednesday because I'm going to be showing you every single book I got at the 3rd stop. And make sure you stick around to the end of this video because I'm going to be showing off a massive grail of mine that I was able to secure on this trip. I still have to pick a winner for last week's giveaway, so I'll do that one night this week live on Instagram. But this week's giveaway is going to be this book right here, Green Lantern number 182. John Stewart becomes Green Lantern after Hal Jordan quits. A really great Copper Age key. Anyway, if you want to enter to win this, all you have to do is subscribe to the channel, give this video a thumbs up for a like, and leave a comment down below. And then make sure you turn on those notifications because we're going to come out with 2 more videos this week. You can like them and leave comments on them for additional entries. Good luck. All right, we just rolled up to the first location, Brick House Comics. And, oh, look who's here also filming. We got Jim from Bronzeville Comics. What's up, man? How you doing?
Good.
You may recognize Brick House Comics if you watched last year's video about the comic book crawl because we stopped here then too. They take care of us. James, the owner, is a great guy, definitely gives some great discounts, and he's got this huge row of half-off keys in addition to dollar bins, and even had some 70% off bins this year. We totally got the deals. Not only did this store have those dollar bins, 50% off bins, and 70% off bins that you saw, they also gave some really nice discounts on the wall books and the slabs. Shout out to James for that. He runs a really cool store and definitely takes care of the crawl when we come through. Anyway, the first book I'm going to show you today, this was my favorite book out of the dollar bin stuff that I got. New X-Men number 133, first appearance of Dust. I've spoken about this book a ton, and anytime I see a copy for cheap, I always pick it up. Then we've got a book I found in a 70% off bin. Was very happy to see this. This is a signed copy, signed by Kelly Jones of all people with a COA. Batman number 492. This is one of the books from the Nightfall run, and Kelly Jones is really known for this run in particular. This one, I feel like it's going to end up with my buddy James because he is a huge Kelly Jones and Nightfall fan. Then up next, we got a little bundle pack here. This is the entire 8-issue run of House of M, one of the most important runs of the modern age as far as the X-Men and mutants are concerned. And I just posted a really iconic panel from this a couple months ago where Scarlet Witch, actually it was not even a couple months ago, it was like a week and a half ago maybe, but Scarlet Witch utters the words, "No more mutants," sending a big event into play. Really, really good stuff. If you haven't read this yet, I definitely recommend it. Up next, a bunch more from the 70% off and 50% off bins. Was very surprised to see Golden Age stuff in the 70% off bins. But they're more niche titles. They're not like, it wasn't like Batman or Superman from the Golden Age or anything like that. We're talking National Comics, issue number 56, but this comic dates back all the way to 1946. It's got this really goofy clown cover, so I knew I had to pick it up, seeing that it was 70% off. Another Golden Age book right here. We have Cindy number 36. This is from 1949, and in fact, this book is from Timely Comics, who became Marvel later, but they used the imprint Marvel prior to changing the name completely to Marvel. And as you can see on this book right here, you might not be able to see that closely, but it does say Marvel Comic right there. And this is probably one of the first times that they utilized that name It was the company was called Timely, and even in the indicia in this book, it does say Timely Comics. So pretty cool. I'm not sure when they actually switched the name officially, but really cool. I guess like comedy romance book from that time period, 1940s. There's not a lot of these books left out there. This one is totally for the PC right here. Usagi Yojimbo #4. I'm trying to collect this whole original run of Yojimbo. I don't have a #1 yet. I'm definitely looking for that, but I was missing like 2 and 4, and now I've got #4. So there's only a couple like higher #1s, and then the first issue that I'm missing. Then we've got some Flash right here. This is Flash number 135. This is super low grade, but it is a really nice key to have. This is the first appearance of Kid Flash in his yellow costume. Prior to that, as you can see over to the side here, he wore a costume that was almost identical to the Flash. Well, they reintroduced him with this new costume, easier to tell him apart and stuff like that. And in my opinion, this character, Wally West, who does become the Flash after Barry Allen dies in the 1980s, I think that they're going to use this character in the DCEU, because what's going on right now with Ezra Miller will probably lead to them being in no more movies, at least Flash-related movies after that, and they're going to need someone to fill that role, so it makes sense for Wally West to eventually take over. This one is super freaking cool. This actually has a COA on the back as well. This was one of those blank covers that you can get artwork done or sketches or signatures done. And this one is signed and remarked by Ken Hazer. And it has a Dynamic Forces certificate of authenticity on the back. And look at that awesome Boba Fett cover. Love it. Absolutely love it. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this yet, because this is so cool. I really want to keep it for myself, but it doesn't really fit in with the rest of my collection. I have very little Star Wars stuff, and really the only Star Wars stuff I have is from the original run in the 70s, but I don't know. I might end up keeping this because this is so awesome. That's to be decided. Now, the last book of this run, you saw it in the beginning, or last book of this stop, rather, that you saw in the beginning of this video. This is X-Men #11, the Pressman variant. And a lot of times you get those silver and gold backed comic books from the early 90s. It means that they're the second printing. That is not the case with this book. This is not the second printing per se. This was a giveaway, a send-away rather. You had to buy the X-Men board game created by Pressman. You had to get the little coupon out of it, mail it into them with a couple bucks or whatever, and you would receive this book in the mail. That being said, there probably were not too many of them printed because they were a send-away. They weren't, readily available in comic book shops. Also, I'm sure some got damaged in the mail, so high grades are hard to find. This one is high grade. Now, James had 2 of them there. He had a 9.8. He was asking $700 for, which honestly I thought was a pretty good price, but I figured I would take a little gamble here, try my luck with buying his high grade raw and seeing what grade I can get. There's a little bit of color rub, honestly, might even be able to get it off, but it might not even detract enough to take it down from a 9.8 to a 9.6. I'm going to have to find out by sending it in. Now, if this retains that 9.8, PC all day. 100% keeping this book. 9.6, I'm not quite sure. I might keep it and wait until I can get a 9.8, or I might sell it at that point and maybe use some of that money to purchase a 9.8. But as long as it comes back a 9.6 or a 9.8, I'm going to be able to profit off this one, and it'll be worth my time. If it comes back a 9.4, I'm at a kind of a break even, and I'll probably sell it at that point and try to upgrade from there. Anyway, let's get to the next stop along the comic book crawl and see what I got there. Say hey, everybody!
How we doing?
This next shop is called Comics and Coffee, and it's run by a really great guy, super fun. His name is Adam. Not only did he have some really great prices already, but he offered an additional 10% off to everyone attending that day, and 20% off if you paid in cash. And I'm pretty sure everyone made the effort to get some cash out in order to take advantage of that deal. So first things up, we've got Spider-Man Unlimited #1. This is not only the first appearance of Shriek, but also the first book of the Maximum Carnage run. He had these priced at $10, which is definitely fair. But guess what? He also had the rest of the Maximum Carnage run, all 13 other books. These were $1 a piece, $1 each. That means this entire run, 13 plus 10, $23. And with the 20% off, that comes down to a little over $18 for the entire Maximum Carnage run. It sells on eBay together for like 50, 60 bucks, 70 bucks, depending on the condition. So, you know, it was a no-brainer, and he had multiple copies of all of them. So I actually put together a couple of lots of Maximum Carnage stuff and grabbed a couple copies of the run for myself. And moving on, he had some great prices on some Spidey stuff here. We have Spider-Man number 82, $5 for this Silver Age book, and again 20% off. So really, I only paid $4 on it. Some really great ones. This one $5 as well. First appearance of Hammerhead, really awesome Bronze Age key. Definitely underrated in my opinion. This was a little more expensive. $10, I think. Amazing Spider-Man number 136, the first appearance of Harry Osborn as Green Goblin, an absolutely monumental key with a fantastic cover. Can't pass that one up. John Romita Sr., at least I think that's Romita. This is definitely Romita. ASM 151. This was only marked at $5, so it cost $4. This was only $1. Second appearance of Black Cat, and I also grabbed her third appearance for $1 as well. Definitely some really great stuff coming in at the end of the ASM run, or more towards the 80s and 90s. There was ASM number 261, really classic cover of Hobgoblin. ASM number 345. This is where Cletus Cassidy gets infected with the Carnage symbiote. And last of the ASM books is issue number 400, Death of Aunt May. Those were marked at $5 a piece, so I got them for $4. They're definitely worth more than that, so that was a really, really great deal. And the last book that I'm going to show you today, the biggest one, an absolute grail of mine. I have a second printing and a third printing already, but this is the first time that I'm going to own the first printing of this book. And not only that, but it is high grade. We have The Crow #1, and there is going to be intense glare on this black book right here, but I'm going to try to hold it the best way I possibly can. The Crow #1, James O'Barr goodness from the late 1980s, made into an incredible movie and some very mediocre sequels, and apparently getting a reboot at some point soon. Apparently featuring Bill Skarsgård. I'm very excited because I really like him in everything that I've seen him in, especially It. I think he can pull this character off very well. Let's see what the grade that I got on this book was. Oh my gosh, a 9.4. 9.4, there's not much room to go up from there. In fact, I do think this is possibly a candidate for a crack and press. I am deciding on that because it is a bit risky. You know, if it gets bumped down to a 9.2, the value goes down significantly, but if it gets bumped up to that 9.6, it goes up significantly. There are a couple little spine ticks, you know, I think there was like 2 or 3 color breaking ones. So it is very, very unlikely that I would get the 9.8. At least I shouldn't be getting a 9.8 on this, but I do think this could possibly bump to a 9.6 because there are what I believe to be a few pressable defects on here. There's a little, little indentation at the top that doesn't break color, that looks like someone, kind of bent the page back as they were turning the cover open. I'm hoping to get that out and maybe, flatten out some of the spine ticks a little bit that aren't color breaking and make it just a little bit better. I haven't decided if I'm definitely going to do this or not yet, but I have to decide soon because there is a James O'Barr signing in my area at Monster Mania coming up, I believe, next month. And I might want to get this thing signed. So I would have to, before that, I would have to get it pressed and cleaned and everything like that, and then get it signed, and then send it off with, you know, the witness and everything. So I'm currently kind of racking my brain. Let me know in the comments what you think I should do with this book. Do I keep it as is? Do I crack, press, resubmit? Or do I crack, press, resubmit with the O'Barr signature? Honestly, all three of those options are very valid. So it's going to be really tough to figure out which one I want to do. But no matter what, this book is staying in my personal collection, whether I end up reholdering it or not. Wow, can't believe I own a first print of this book. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this video. Remember to tune back on Wednesday. I've got a couple things coming up. Wednesday, I'm going to show off the rest of my haul from the crawl, which is everything from the third stop. I filled up a long box, 250 comics. We're going to go through all of them pretty quickly. And then also, I was actually given a free collection. Shout out to Danny. He was making some room, downsizing a little bit. He gave me, 7 short boxes of comic books. I'm going to show off some cool stuff that I got from that. Plus, he provided me with 2 slabs to give away to the comic book community. So I'm going to be announcing that shortly. So we're gonna do 2 giveaway books. In addition to our regular giveaways, they aren't going to replace them. I'm just adding them in, and they are high-grade slabs of key comics. So definitely look out for that and the video on Wednesday. Yeah, that's about it. Baltimore Comic-Con this weekend's coming up. I will be there on Friday if anyone wants to say hi and hang out. And then the weekend after is Super Jersey Comic Expo. I'll be selling there in New Jersey. And then the week after that will likely be the next and last Back Deck Comic Fest of the year. Enough of me babbling. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. Go check out the Instagram. And until next time, turn the page, wash your hands.